Hey guys, Seafood Les Clements, Black Dragon Kung Fu. Thanks for watching. I want to continue the video from the last time, not too long ago. I just posted it. A video about how the animals work together inside once they become internalized. So imagine a person who's praying to God, right? If you imagine in your mind whatever God is to you, all infinite consciousness, imagine all of that. Imagine if you're praying to this source, right? Now imagine if we switch that around and you are becoming that force. Are you following me? So it's a matter of work. So now if we equate this to the elements, if I really want the crane to be a part of my solid character, which naturally happens, then I want to take on the qualities of the crane, then I need to understand what the crane is about, practicing things that the crane does. The crane stands on one leg most of its life, a slight bend, right? I'll cover this in some other videos. Can't really see the legs, but crane stands on one leg most of its life, changing legs constantly, which means it's solid and grounded in its balance. So remember, the white crane is a perfect balance between water and fire. If you look at where it lives, the white cranes live coastal areas where there's a lot of sun and a lot of water, or anywhere that fits that. Not even coastal, lakes, rivers, places like that. So the crane has a lot of balance mentally, focus. The crane represents focus, clarity, stability, peace, balance. So in the last video, I was talking about the benefits of how these creatures work together with each other. So if you practice tiger, Kung Fu, if you practice these animal styles, they will become a part of who you are. They will mold to your DNA and it will show in different ways. So the video that I discussed last time, I was giving a hypothetical scenario of a person named Bob. Fictitious character, right? But there are Bobs everywhere and there are Bettys everywhere. Bobs and Bettys is just a simple term I use for males and females that have control issues and they make other people in the workplace miserable, unhappy. So that's just a metaphor for that, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. We're talking about dysfunctional people, okay? So the scenario I used was a hypothetical guy named Bob, fictitious character who's training you on your job. And he keeps saying to you, you're having a hard time understanding what he's saying. So he keeps telling you, come on, it's not that hard. You've got to think. Okay. Now, this is not respectful. So what happens? So the crane wants to know why this person feels that they can talk to you like that. The tiger wants to tear Bob apart. The snake has got this silent contempt for Bob, but it controls it just like the tiger is controlling itself with the help of the crane who's talking to the tiger to keep it cool. Remember, crane rules the air element. So it has the, for lack of a better word, jurisdiction. The tiger, the snake, and the leopard are there, but they are yielding to the crane because the crane dominates air, well, rules air. Crane is not really dominant by default, but it's powerful. So crane being the ruler of the air element, which the air element is thoughts, the mind, the breath, imaginations, words, intentions, all these things rule the air. So this dialogue with this fictitious character named Bob, who represents people on work sites and out in public that are used to such a fast-paced regimen of what they do. They're really good at what they do, so they have high expectations someone else can keep up with them and should be able to keep up with them in that, even though they've never done it, which is a very ignorant thing because it doesn't allow them to look at someone else and they look down on them. So everywhere else in life, they're going to talk down to them. and it's going to go like this if the boundary isn't set. So I described how you stop this, right? So the crane wants to know the tiger is ready to pounce. So the tiger says, wait a minute, that's not okay. I want to be clear about something. If we're going to work together, there's not going to be any demeaning or degrading talk. Okay, I'm new. I would appreciate a little patience, Bob. Okay, are you with me? Okay, Bob is either going to go, yeah, man, okay, yeah, sorry, I just get a little carried away. Yeah, no problem. And then if that happens, Bob and I are good, or Bob and you are good. We are good with Bob if Bob is good in the environment. But what if Bob goes, well, no, you can't take it all personal because blah, blah, blah. Oh, gaslighting. You see, another thing that I just learned this word not too long ago, like a couple of years ago. And it's always been meant the same thing to me. It's just someone being a jerk. But since we're on the subject of the animals, how do we deal with gaslighting? So someone insults you right away by being scolding and demeaning. You set your standard with them and tell them that's not okay. They tell you, you can't take this personal because blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. See, these people can't be allowed to continue doing that. It's making everyone miserable. So we have control over that. So if you got to think about what gaslighting is. So once I heard this word within the last couple of years, like I said, I did some research on it, and it's just simply what I came up with applying this work to it is the gas is the toxic, right? Their toxic stuff that's in this form in gas, right, goes through the air, that's air element, right? And then the lighting. So they're trying to light someone else on fire with the toxic fluid of their miserable beings. They're not happy. But the crane has the power to rub them right where you can gain a little bit of a favor and get a foothold. The tiger doesn't care about that. The tiger wants to rip them apart. But the tiger is going to be held in check in this situation because the crane is the ruler. The tiger has to do what it says. The tiger says, nope, you're in my domain. You will listen to me. Let's find out why Bob's doing this. And let's not try to come off like some psychologist. That's not what this is. See, more gaslighting. Some people will say, listening to this, oh, you're a doctor that has it all figured out. See, there are plenty of people that will say that. But that's not the case. That's not the case at all. It's never the case. When you defend yourself, these statements will come. You have to just understand what it is and don't give it the right energy. So the crane wants to know why Bob is doing this. All right. Now the snake and the leopard, which I talked about before, are both working together to keep the temperature of the water right. So the leopard puffs the fire to make sure the water emotions don't get too hot. The snake is controlling those emotions, and so that it can feel what's going on intuitively, right? So there's all this stuff going on, right? So with the understanding of these elements in place, everything starts to change, right? So we have a choice. If we understand we can work and become what we want, then things become easier. So now there may be another situation that is not an air issue. These things we all have to diagnose and navigate through the elements. So this is something that is lost knowledge. One of the things that I live for is trying to bring it back, and I discovered this through Kung Fu. I did not intend this. We have to find our purpose. I don't know very many people that are born with their own purpose. I mean, I guess it's possible, maybe. I don't know. But the idea of the animals working together, or the creatures working together, the 4-creature Kung that I talked about. The title of the last video was 5-creature Kung, but I left the 5th one open, which is the dragon. So see, now all this time, the snake and the tiger and the crane and the leopard are all working as projective archetypes, right, that are coming out to deal with these. So we're using them, or we are existing with them in our projection to create a better environment. See? So the reason that standards are good, and standards come, one way to develop them is standing through Tiger, but the reason standards work is because it sets in place what you will or will not tolerate. You know, so if someone says, "Oh, don't take it personal," now look, more gaslighting. So we have to use another element once we understand what gaslighting is. It's fire, it's air. Right, gas is going through the air. It could be in liquid form, also water with their emotions and all this. And we're just going to douse that flame. So the biggest fear that gaslighters have, which are always narcissistic, once again, a word that I hate. Excuse me, I shouldn't even use such a strong word. A word that I do not like because anyone can use it. And a lot of people use it and point the finger. But like I said, really doesn't matter. It's just dysfunction. It's dysfunction. So we can douse that flame with water and put it out, extinguish it, or not allow them to get the wick going. It's simple. It's not giving energy away where it isn't needed. So when you become each of these animals in practice or creatures, they will start to show. So the dragon is the primal one. The dragon is the source they all come out of. The dragon is all of them. So they are all representatives of the dragon. So the dragon is the ether, right? The ether is the space between atoms, also known as the Akasha in Sanskrit, the infinite, the library that has everything, the galactic library. Akasha is an ancient term used in yoga, Sanskrit. Ether is another way to say it. For scientists, you can say it's defined as the space between atoms, which is potential. And that's what dragon is. The dragon is the potential, the purple egg. Okay, so you'll see in my Kung Fu system, it's a little odd why the highest sash that I will give out is a purple sash. There are no degrees. There's no marks, there's no stripes on anything. The only reason I have sash is yes, it does differentiate levels, which is effective, but it's not some big promotional thing. Someone is a sash or a purple belt, black belt, blue belt. It's not that type of, it's not for recognition. The reason that I do the colored sash system is because each sash corresponds to an element and understanding of the elements. You see, so black sash is first in my system, and then we go to green, and then we go to blue, and then we go to red, and then purple. Now it could take 20 years to get a purple. I've only given one purple sash out in my time. But purple is the understanding of the dragon. Okay, I've given out 2 reds, 1 purple, several blues, some more greens, a lot of blacks at the bottom. Black sash, green sash. But anyway, that's the starting point on the elemental compound. That's why I do it that way, for correspondence. So understanding how the dragon is a puzzle, that these 4 animals can fit together and become the dragon. Well, they come out of the dragon like the ether. So the dragon is represented by a purple egg, often called the cosmic egg, okay, or the stargate. So that is the idea behind the work of understanding the elements, is becoming the stargate. See, the human potentially is the stargate, the bonding between the earth and the heavens. We are made to unlock our bodies and our minds and ascend up into higher things. So if you like this video, feel free to hit that like button, and even better if you would subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time. Secret Les Clements out.